Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. It's my first video, Day Trip Z. So hey, today's first video is going to be a very essential function everyone should really do on their bike, which is installing a trickle charger or battery tender on their bike. So today we're going to be installing that on a Kawasaki Z900. It's really easy to do. They're cheap, easy to get on Amazon. Highly recommend it, and you will thank me. They're much cheaper than buying a new battery. So without further ado, let's get right into this and start the video. Okay guys, so the first thing to do is you got to go on, I recommend Amazon, but you can get them pretty much anywhere. Revzilla, Cycle Gear, your favorite bike shop, whatever you're gonna do. This one, and you've probably seen some videos on this before, this is the Foval automatic battery charger. So when you purchase, and I can't even remember what I paid for this thing, it was probably around 25 bucks, but what you get is the actual charger itself. Okay. Then you have your connections to your batteries, and you can do that either one of two ways. A quick temporary charger, you can just like jump starting a car, you can connect these up, plug it in, and you are good to go. Or you can do a more permanent setup where you've got your connectors permanently attached to your bike, and then when you need to charge it or whenever you park it, especially in the wintertime, cold weather, extreme hot weather, if you live in Arizona, it's extremely hot. If you live in somewhere up north, or even as low, like I'm in Texas right now, and yes, it can get pretty cold in the winter. So you might want to have it set up so that you can plug it in at any time. So guys, for the Z900, there's a couple of quick steps that you need to do to get it set up. So my battery is under my seat here. So first thing I got to do to get my seat off is I need to take rear seat off. So put in our key, turn it, rear seat pulls right out, easy peasy. Okay, on the Z900 there's like a little clip, this little toggle here pulls out, and pop, pop. I'll see if I can get a good angle of that. And the seat just pops out. This is where this little part slides into. There you go. Simple enough. If you're just gonna do a temporary setup, meaning you don't want a permanent setup on your bike, see, you've got your positive, negative, and as you can see, I already have some cables installed because that goes to a wireless phone charger on my handlebars. So the first thing you do, you get your negative terminal, connect to the left post, positive terminal, connect to the right post. Make sure you got a good setup. Then this portion right here simply plugs into the charger, and let me pull that out. Bam, plug it in, matches up, and then this gets plugged into the wall and it'll show as charging. We're going to be doing a more permanent setup. So for that, we're going to be connecting these up. Got your fuse. And let me do the little twisty bread tie. Just toss that on the garage. Okay, and actually I kind of like that it's not particularly long, because that way when this is all set up, when I put the seat back on, you can do some zip ties and have this down here, maybe even run it through here, And we'll have to play with that and see. But either way, this will be where you can stealthily have this, where it's easy to plug in, easy to get to, but it's not going to be flopping around when you're out riding the bike. So the first thing we're going to do is remove, using a Phillips head screwdriver, unscrew my positive terminal first, and you just pull that right off there, and let's not lose that screw. Then we're going to remove the negative, okay. All right, so now we've got our Trickle charger here, and since we already have an item pulled on there, and this actually has a nice little round connector, so I'm gonna line all this back up, and in fact I'll just start it, and then this can just slide right in. Same thing on this side. Gotta move this little positive battery cover. There we go, and we'll put that on last. Let's work to get this little nut started. There we go, and I can feel it caught already. We're gonna reinstall the battery, charger for the phone. Hopefully that's getting all caught on camera. There we go. Okay, so before we put everything back on, I'm gonna real quick make sure we've got power to the bike. So we're good to go. So now I'm gonna make sure my screws are nice and tight. Nothing's gonna slip off. Okay, now we just find a really nice spot here for our fuse, and that kind of fits really nicely just right there. Find a nice place to feed this through. So it actually looks right here under my helmet lock. If I can get it through there. Looks like a great spot. And just push it through. There we go. And Mr. Screwdriver there. Okay. So, there we go. Okay, so let me see if I can get that. I'll put the camera back. Yeah, so now we've got it kind of right here, and we can run it however we want. Like, I'm thinking though, if we zip tie this right here, because you don't want it to fall down and get tangled up in the tire, like you don't want it to feed down too far. So, let's see, I just gotta kind of figure out where I want to put it. I'm thinking I'm just gonna do one zip tie, like right here, and that way we can just keep it tucked in, and when we need to use it, we can just pull it right back out. So that looks pretty good. All right, so now we're gonna zip tie it, kind of hold it right there. And I want the zip tie kind of in the battery compartment there. Just torque it down real nice and tight. See, now I can pull this out, charge it, and leave it. And I'm gonna push this over. Make sure this is down. Okay, so it looks pretty good. And here, just for the sake of being pretty, let's clip Go. Clip the zip tie. So now we're going to work backwards. Make sure our seat goes on really nice and awesome. Pins Mitch up. Bam. Make sure we can still get to our, yep, it's tucked in there nice. And go rear seat. Oop, there we go. So now I'm gonna go rear seat. Locks into place. Okay, so now we're ready to go. We're gonna plug her in. There's no way to mess that up. Just plug it in. Okay, so now if we look at it, it is doing its thing. We're putting a trickle charge on the battery, and now we don't have to worry about coming out at the end of winter and starting our bike up. And we are totally screwed. And now we have to go buy a new battery. So there you go, guys, and that's all there is to it. Installing a trickle charger or battery tender on your motorcycle. In this case, the Kawasaki Z900. Hope everyone enjoyed the video, and see you next time on Day Trip Z.